Remember Hideki Matsui? The guy was a legitimate legend of sorts. He started out playing for the Yomiuri Giants of the NPB. I'm sorry for butchering that. Ended up balling so hard that he earned one of the greatest nicknames of all time before then coming to the States and becoming a certified Yankees legend.
That fuck 'em up.
Without his contributions to the sport, both overseas and here in America, we very likely wouldn't have the great talents like guys like Ohtani, Yamamoto, and the likes who have become household names in the sport today. Special shout out to Hiroki Kuroda, one of my favorite players to ever come from Japan. Dude always had ice in his veins on the mound, but never got any run support, of course. Back to Hideki Matsui. Of course, he helped lead the Yankees to their 27th World Championship in 2009, picking up a World Series MVP along the way, and he's also a member of the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame. Needless to say, his playing career is pretty damn phenomenal. And here's a quick fun fact to warm you guys up. Did you know that his nickname originated not from his excellent hitting abilities, but instead because of his acne, and because kids are assholes and used to make fun of him for it? I bet you didn't know that. However, today we're going to be looking at another aspect of the Hideki Matsui mythos, and buckle up because it's about to get kind of weird. Came across a funny tweet, or X, or whatever the hell they're called nowadays, a little while back that made me go, I don't know if I believe that off rip, but now I kind of have to look into it. Well, I did, and it turns out Hideki Matsui is a big porn guy. I found an old article from Time Magazine Asia that went in depth about Matsui and how dope he is, pretty much, and how he manages to be super dope while also being, low-key about it. However, they note that his one eccentricity is his, and I quote, extensive private library of adult videos. Later on in that same article, Matsui is talking about how he just wants to be like a normal dude, despite being an absolute beast of a baseball player. And to try and accomplish this, he engages in really fun activities, like having 5 girlfriends at once, driving around in his Chevy, eating steak, drinking beer, and most importantly, shooting the shit with his landscapers. And honestly, just from that description alone, he already gets it more than most dudes ever will. And on top of all those fun activities, he also likes to watch his massive porn collection. And sometimes he even goes as far as to trade them with Japanese reporters for some of their own goods. One reporter was quoted as saying, and I quote, "Matsui is a horny guy. All of us are horny, more or less. But Matsui doesn't attempt to hide the fact." What a goddamn quote, right? Don't you guys miss when journalism was hard-hitting and real like that and not that soft shit that it is today? A shame. Later on, it was quoted in a GQ article that I can't access, of course, that Hideki Matsui owns about 55,000 adult videos. And of course, the first thing that popped into my head was the logistics of this must be a fucking disaster. But then again, at the same time, he's probably fairly wealthy and could have a whole room dedicated to that if he wanted to. This same article also noted how at his first American press conference, he ran out of gifts for the reporters. Because he was that nice of a guy, he brought gifts for the reporters. Guys don't do that anymore, man. Maybe they do. I don't know. But point is, he ran out of gifts for these new American reporters he was meeting for the first time. So he offered to give them some of his private collection to make up for it. And it's little things like that that really just, how can you not love them? Of course, you have to wonder how he felt when the rise of the internet began and it became easier than ever to access this type of stuff and this type of content. Was he happy about it? Was he sad to find himself in a transitionary period where we slowly move away from physical ownership into digital slavery? Well, I guess only he knows for sure. I would love to pick his brain one day about baseball and even his porn collection, perhaps. I mean, think of all the potential questions you could ask the guy. What should happen, and this is way beyond me, way above me, is that one of those big podcasters should look into getting his ass on their show. Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Gillis, Shaman. There's some serious untapped potential here. The guy's a stud baseball player, has a massive 55K strong adult video collection. Come on, the content speaks for itself. And plus, how the hell do you even find the time to watch all of that as a professional baseball player? I know Gooners with serious pro potential, and they can't even sniff this level of deviance. And on top of that, he has a wife. I imagine that would eat into quite a bit of one's time when it comes to enjoying their adult movies. Unless she's also a connoisseur of the genre, in which case, good for them. Here's another fun fact for you to break up the weirdness. Hideki Matsui announced his marriage to the fans with a missing person sketch of his wife's face after getting married to her in secret. Cool, right? He also had a bet going with Derek Jeter at the time that whoever got married first would win. But given Derek Jeter's dating history, kind of seems a little lopsided in Matsui's favor, but whatever. We're not here to judge. And honestly, I'm not even sure what the point of this video is supposed to be. You can go ahead and take whatever moral away from it that you may please. But what I will leave you with is that Hideki Matsui is truly an international treasure and undoubtedly one of the most prolific Gooners of all time. It shows you that there's still hope out there for a lot of you. Also, it's nice to see players with personality that are unashamedly committed to being themselves. It is a fresh breath of air from the carefully crafted and cultivated social media personas we see nowadays, and I wish we had more guys like that. Be good and be safe.